So, as always, I round out the year with an end of year analysis, or I guess summary video. And poor man's Michael Bay left a comment on there, and it reads, "You should consider having more interaction with people face to face. I don't know how often you go out or what city you live in, but consider going to a public place with lots of people, like a mall. Yes, malls still have people there, at least the major ones. And try working on getting your mouthpiece straight with the ladies. Face to face contact has more impact than online/virtual." You know, I went back and watched my own video, and I think I made it pretty clear that for me, the biggest issue with what he calls face to face contact and all this in person stuff is that with a lot of online things, they go bad. We just stop speaking. Maybe somebody talks crap about you on a post or whatever, but that's about it. But I've recounted in pretty vivid detail the horror story of that coworker, of asking somebody, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie?" Having that person agree to do it, and then stand you up at the last minute, and then in this extremely roundabout way, just keep dodging actually doing it ever again until you tease them and they try to get you fired. Just it was a really bad experience that is extremely unlikely to be replicated again. Not because people suddenly are so much kinder and nicer in person. No, because I've made it to where my interactions with them, with these coworkers, specifically with the female ones, since then has been extremely limited. I look for parallels a lot of times. That's why when I brought up in the end of 2024 video how I had this other coworker that said I could send them a text message, and then they said they didn't see it and told me to send another one. Then they had me send one. They didn't reply to it, kept saying that they kept forgetting. I started noticing the parallels that she had with Mixed Signals Queen, and I was like, okay, well, this is already looking like it's gonna go bad, so I'm gonna drop out or get out of here before it gets even worse. I've been criticized a few times, crazily enough, for trying to have interactions with people in real life. Believe it or not. I mean, I had the guy who came on my Everything Start Crumbling, Leaving Nothing video, and he said, "Don't mess with girls at work." And what I try to convey to these people is that when you're familiar with someone, at least from my perspective, you're more likely to be susceptible to the things that they may want to do. So if I have some, guy or some woman I'm working with, and they're like, "Hey, let's go eat somewhere after work," which I have happened a few times. I'm more likely to want to do that with them as a person who I have spoken to and interacted with repeatedly than some random guy or woman off the streets that comes up to me when I'm, at the mall or in some other public vicinity, even if they may have good intentions. And I've also talked about how in the past, when I did go and like try to speak to women, like random ones at malls and all these other places, I just didn't feel as comfortable. Because again, you're going up to this person as they're doing something. They might be busy. That might lead to them just getting annoyed by your presence. It's just not a really pleasant experience for me to go through. And when total up all the different times they say no, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Uh, but I just find it so interesting how, and we talked about this in the like why long distance relationships are dumb video. I've said repeatedly, I don't ask out women anymore. I've not asked one of them out in over 3 years. That trend is not changing anytime soon. So why is it that these guys still come here and write comments to me that are of like a romantic variety? Oh, try working on getting your mouthpiece straight with the ladies. Who the hell cares about a mouthpiece? Like, who? What does that do for me? I said very plainly, the few times where I have had one of them say that they like me romantically, they don't want to get married, they want to have kids, and that plays directly into me wanting nothing to do with them in a romantic sense. Every frustration I have expressed toward them in the past multiple years has been platonic. I don't know where they get this idea from that someone is still trying to ask them out. It's bizarre. But yeah, it's sad that you do a video, right, and you lay out all your different arguments, and these people, they just they hear which part of it they want to hear, and they see what part of it they want to see. You know, maybe I'd be more open to in-person stuff if there was a guarantee it wouldn't end badly. But the last one of these chicks I tried to do something in person with tried to get me fired from and leave me with no income, and I'm not putting them in a position to ever do that again. So no, thank you. Face-to-face contact has more impact than online/virtual.
You're missing the point.